I'm very excited about this week's segment of Inside Bitcoin, where we have CJ Konstantinos here to discuss a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Awesome to have you on the show again, CJ. This is such an exciting time, and we just got a few questions for you. I want to start right off the bat with, what do you think the odds are that we get a strategic Bitcoin reserve on day one?
Oh, I don't think a lot of people are going to like this answer, but the truth is, I think the odds aren't really that good. And I think it divides up into a couple of things. First of all, we have an executive order opportunity, and then we have the congressional law situation. So I think there is a higher chance that in the first 100 days, Trump does an executive order that at least freezes the Bitcoin that we have, so that the government agencies don't try to sell any more of the Bitcoin that we have on our agencies or in our balance sheet, and reserve it for the future reserve that needs to get passed through law in Congress. And that is the big meat and potatoes there. If that can actually come through, then what we're seeing is the United States of America is monetizing Bitcoin. This new digital emerging asset class is being validated by the largest financialized economy in the world. And it's going to be a financial moment for history.
Okay, fine. So I see that. How do you though think, how is a strategic Bitcoin reserve good for America?
Well, the biggest problem we have right now is that we continue to borrow dollars from the marketplace and spend them into the economy, and we get less than $1 worth of return. And we can't take those borrowed dollars and continue spending them into the economy and not getting principal plus interest returns. We can't take it and invest it into real estate because we're going to have more of an affordability crisis. We can't unlock resources because it takes hundreds of billions of dollars of investment and years to pull those resources to market and create cash flow from it. So we need a way that the asset side of our balance sheet can outpace the growth of the liability side of our balance sheet. And the solution is the strategic Bitcoin reserve. When you put Bitcoin on the asset side of your balance sheet, it's going to grow faster than the liability side. You can look at El Salvador and see their creditworthiness is going up. The biggest problem the United States has right now is the long end of the yield curve is starting to sell off, even when the Fed is lowering interest rates on the front end with the federal funds rate. And they may lose control of the yield curve because of the duration risk in Treasury, because of the inflation risk, because of the required perpetual borrowing to service existing debt. We need something on the asset side of the balance sheet that we can put that money into that is going to grow faster than liabilities, that is going to deliver more than $1 worth of investment when put into it. And the strategic Bitcoin reserve is the answer.
That makes a lot of sense. I want to ask you, though, what do you think are the second and third order effects that roll out to the American people when this happens?
It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be like a time we've never seen before. And I think we see Dennis Porter at Satoshi Action Fund already sharing details with us about how the states are taking action to establish Bitcoin strategic reserves. But at People's Reserve, we have a little bit of a deeper dive. And we know that the cities, because their balance sheet is not the same balance sheet as the state, and the municipalities, because their balance sheet is not the same balance sheet as the cities, they're also going to be doing strategic Bitcoin reserves. So you're going to see it from the federal level down to the state level, the city level, and the municipality level. And then once they get that strategic reserve, there's a whole bunch of options on the table that have never been on the table before in the whole world of finance.
Wow, that's really compelling stuff. What do you think a strategic Bitcoin reserve means for Bitcoin price action?
Oh, I think this is something that the market is not pricing in right now. And because of that trickle down effect from federal, state, city, municipality, what they're missing is that there's going to be a perpetual bid on Bitcoin. There's going to be a perpetual price agnostic bid on Bitcoin. When governments come and develop their strategic Bitcoin reserves, it's not going to be like they're going to create a hedge fund and create trading teams who try to time their buys. They're simply going to take a percentage of the tax income and directly allocate it into Bitcoin. And it's not going to matter what the price of Bitcoin is. It's not going to be their job to figure it out. It's going to be their job to take a percentage of that tax, directly allocate it into Bitcoin, regardless what the price is, to start to build that reserve so that you can leverage that reserve with tools like municipal Bitcoin bonds to bring money, to bring investment into your community and to empower your constituents with this reserve of the most pristine form of collateral in the world.
CJ Konstantinos, thank you for joining us on Inside Bitcoin. This has been illuminating.
Never disappoint.
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest Byte Federal ATM and turn your cash to coin. Byte Federal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log in to any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.